A woman quietly slept in first class, just another passenger, or so everyone thought. But when hijackers stormed the plane and chaos spread, the pilot's desperate voice called out her forgotten call sign. In that moment, the legend known as Phantom Hawk awoke, rising from the shadows to protect every soul on board. What city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. The plane hummed softly as it cut through the night sky, carrying weary travelers across continents. In first class, a young woman sat near the window, her head tilted to the side, peacefully asleep. She wore simple clothes, nothing flashy, nothing that suggested the extraordinary life she had lived. To most passengers, she was just another face among strangers. But peace rarely lasts long at 30,000 feet. Halfway through the flight, a commotion erupted in the main cabin. The muffled sound of shouting grew sharper, until even the dozing passengers in first class stirred awake. A group of masked men stormed the aisle, their eyes hard, their voices cold as they threatened everyone on board. Panic spread like wildfire, cries, gasps, trembling hands clutching armrests. In the cockpit, the pilots fought to keep calm, but the hijackers had already made their demands. The air felt suffocating with fear. Every second stretched longer than the last. The woman in first class, still drowsy, shifted slightly in her seat. She had been in situations far worse than this, though no one around her knew. She had chosen anonymity, disappearing from the world stage after her years of service. Tonight she only wanted a quiet flight home. Then everything changed. The intercom crackled and a voice rang out, not in fear, but in urgency and reverence. The pilot's voice trembled slightly but carried unmistakable strength. We have a passenger on board. Phantom Hawk, if you can hear this, we need you." The cabin froze. A name, a call sign, a legend. Eyes darted around in confusion. Some passengers whispered. Could it really be her? The ghost soldier? The elite operator who had disappeared years ago after missions nobody spoke of? The woman's eyes snapped open. For a heartbeat, her calm gaze revealed nothing. Then she inhaled slowly, straightened her posture, and let the years of training resurface. She hadn't wanted this. She had buried that part of her life. But hearing her call sign spoken aloud, in the middle of chaos, awakened the warrior the world thought was gone. The hijackers barked threats, waving weapons. Passengers shrank back in terror. But the young woman, Phantom Hawk, stood. Slowly, with a steady grace that demanded attention, one of the masked men snarled at her, weapon raised. She didn't flinch. Her voice, calm but edged with steel, cut through the tension. You don't know what you've just started. The next moments happened so quickly, most would later describe them as a blur. She moved with precision and speed, striking like lightning. Disarming, subduing, neutralizing, each motion carried the weight of years of combat. To the hijackers, she was an unstoppable force. To the passengers, she was salvation. Screams turned into stunned silence. Fear melted into awe. Within minutes, the cabin that had been held hostage by terror was under her control. When the last hijacker fell, groaning in defeat, Phantom Hawk simply exhaled, as if the whole ordeal had cost her nothing but breath. The passengers erupted into tears, clapping, some even whispering prayers of thanks. The pilot's voice returned, heavy with emotion. Ladies and gentlemen, your flight is safe, because tonight we were blessed to have a hero among us. But the woman only shook her head. She didn't want their applause, didn't want recognition. She had come aboard as just another traveler, and that was all she wanted to remain. Quietly, she sank back into her seat. As the plane steadied, some passengers peeked at her in awe, but most respected her silence. She closed her eyes again, the faintest smile tugging at her lips. For the world, she was Phantom Hawk, a legend. For herself, she was simply a tired woman trying to find peace. Still, no one on that flight would ever forget the night when chaos filled the sky. And a hero, asleep in first class, rose again at the sound of her call sign. Thanks for being here till the end. If this story moved you, give it a like, subscribe for more real moments, and share your thoughts. I read every comment.